Just double check everything's right. Yo. Alright, that's calm. Don't need that on. Don't need that on. Yo. Yo. Perfect. I'll try and keep it. Yo. Hello, hello, hello. Yo. Yo. Turn up a bit more. Yo. Yo. Alright, cool. So what am I watching now? I just see this. So I was literally just talking about childhood and shit. Where's it go? Okay, here it is. I was literally just talking about childhood and shit. And I don't relate to this shit. I wasn't exposed to no drugs when I was little. At all. Like really. I wasn't exposed to nothing. But this girl just said she did cocaine with her mum when she's 15. That's brazy childhood shit. So let's go on. Let's get in it.
I think out of everything.
Hang on. Let's get my audio right. Yeah. Any problems with the audio, let me know, innit? It's a bit loud.
She was worried about me. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was her last thought. Like,
yeah, it is.
Davina McCall.
She's a TV presenter, a fitness fanatic,
Multiple-time best-selling author.
Rarely off our televisions, and what you see is what you get.
It's good to be back.
After Big Brother, I thought, what else can I do to get famous? So I was always a bit of a show-off. Mum, you made a mistake.
I think I've seen her before.
How great I am. That's at the back of everything.
Why?
I did coke with my mum at 15. I did it with my sister at 14.
You were doing drugs with...
Yeah, like, all drugs were my problem. I'd left my job, no money, had nothing. I will literally do anything to stop feeling like this. I'm gonna phone someone for help. I'm fucked.
That's brazy. I'm just not lying. That is really brazy. Cause like, she must be very fearless to like hark that shit up her nostrils and shit. This lady just did Wagwan, welcome back. This lady just saying like, look, you know what we were just talking about in the last stream about childhood and shit. And this lady saying, rah, she did cocaine at 15 with her mum. So look, pre this trailer.
I think out of everything, she was worried about me. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was her last thought. Like,
Davina McCall.
She's a TV presenter, a fitness fanatic,
Multiple-time best-selling author.
Rarely off our televisions, and what you see is what you get.
it's good to be back.
After Big Brother, I thought, what else can I do to get famous? So I was always a bit of a show-off. Mum, you made a mistake. How great I am. That's at the back of everything.
Why?
With her mum. Look,
I
listen.
did coke with my mum at 15. I did it with my sister at 14.
You were doing drugs with...
Yeah, like, all drugs were my problem. I'd left my job, no money, had nothing. I will literally do anything to stop feeling like this. I'm gonna phone someone for help. I'm fucked.
10 years ago, you lost Caroline. You're half.
So, what are you saying about that, chat? What are you saying about that, chat? Because judge not. Man's not judging her, man. Because that's horrible. That's horrible for her. Like, you know, as I was just talking about in the last stream, like, I was getting arrested at 11 and shit. And at the time, I didn't know I was getting arrested. I did know I was getting arrested because I was just like, shit. Mum said, don't go to prison like my dad. Like, I'm en route, like, type shit. That was happening in man's mind, but it's like when you get later on in life, like everything that was happening in the early years is like when you start to slow down a little bit. Like not slow down necessarily, but when as you get more consciousness is when you start to realize, oh, I was doing this. But you know you're doing it, of course. Oh shit, I'm just so heavy-handed, bro. One sec. One sec. Let's calm down. Yeah, so cocaine is one of them drugs of which, in my opinion, you gotta like not give a fuck. Yeah. I think you have to be real fearless about. When I say fearless, I mean that with like careless, because like that will destroy your body. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like a little herb, like little weed or something. It's just like there's medicinal benefits or some shit. That is just straight fuck up your nostrils and you're going downhill type shit. To me. That's some scary stuff to me, man. Like, cocaine, I'm so frightened of that stuff. Frightened. Like, and when I say frightened, I want to be very clear. I mean, like, I just don't like that stuff. Keep that far away from me, man. It's not rocking like that at all. Like man's really not rocking with that. And you know, I'm not against drugs necessarily. Like in terms of like, I would smoke weed. I do call weed a drug actually, because bear man are zombies on that shit. But I would smoke weed, not like a lot. I used to, but I would smoke weed. Or what else would I do? I've taken like DM, but I don't even call that a drug. Like DMT is not a drug, but I'm not going there though. Like no, like, wait, let me just clarify. Weed, that's a drug to me. That's drugs to me. Weed. If I'm doing weed, I'm doing drugs. All them other shits over there stuff. I'm not rocking that way. No way. Not ever. Not one time. Come on, you gotta try it once. Nope. No, thank you. Never been offered to me. It's never been offered to me. I've never been in an environment. I've basically never even seen it. I've never seen cocaine. Like ever. I'm not even joking. I've never seen cocaine. Don't want it near me. Scared of that shit, baby. I don't want that shit near me. No, really. Not me. Not me. I don't even want that shit. If someone was to like do that stuff in the movies and try going, I'll be like, oh, I'll probably beat man up. I'm gonna be honest. Just for disrespect to my eyesight, I'll probably knock man out cold. Just for even pulling out the bag or whatever it is they put it out of. I'll probably just start. What the fuck are you doing in my eyesight, bro? What are you disrespecting me with? Like, I'm not gonna lie. I just feel like don't try boy me. Don't try bring that near into my life. Don't like, it's not. I don't want that near me. Kind of venting though, but anyway, she's done drugs with her mum at 15, bro, and she's done cocaine at 14 years old, and that's sad because like you're not fully aware of what you're doing in them ages, man. I don't care what nobody says, bro. You know what you're doing and you feel big and shit, but you don't know what you're doing. Let's go.
It was definitely the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
I was just trying to be really strong for her. And I kept saying to her,
I'm
going to be
the
fine.
moment you got off drugs,
She'd put a fence around her.
all right, 16.
And I thought,
we're gonna
fucking climbing over the
we're skipping
fence
this
and I'm
around though. We're not watching the whole thing.
When you were like 16, 17,
Cool.
You said you'd started doing drugs with your mother in France. But what did you want to be when you were older? If I'd asked you at 16.
I probably
she say
need
that?
to clarify. Older. She said we'd have to like.
Wait, where's this?
Through
bit?
my teenage years into my 20s.
Are they getting straight to it?
Davina, what was your first defining moment?
Oh.
She's licking
definitely,
up her tongue on something different shit.
Realising, the moment I realised my mum wasn't coming back to pick me up. So I got taken to my granny's, my paternal grandmother, most amazing woman called Pippi. Got taken to her house in the country.
Broken people go to their grandmas. I'm not gonna lie, because I was at my grandma's. Not that I'm broken, well, I'm somewhat. But I'm all right now. I'm healing myself. But broken niggas go to their grandma's yard, bro. They be there. I'm swear down, bro. Niggas that's had like somewhat troubling childhood be at their grandma's yard. I'm not even joking, bro. Anyway, let's get back in.
Which I knew really well. I used to spend quite a lot of time down there with her. And my mum wasn't with my dad. She was with another man. But I didn't kind of question that. They'd split up, but I didn't know that or kind of understand.
Okay.
And I was like,
honest,
okay, great.
I want to hear
and
a story
I stayed
about the
with my
cocaine.
granny. And then after a couple of months, I thought, is she coming back? But then I thought I didn't want to.
So she's going to have like some type of abandonment issue she'll have.
such a different time. You know, I'm 55, so this would have been over 50 years ago. It was such a different time that you didn't ask people. Children didn't go, where's mummy gone? Or when's mummy coming back? I knew that I was a guest at my granny's house, but I wasn't. It had all been planned. My granny had been given my custody. My dad was coming down every weekend to be with me. They were sort of sharing custody, but my dad was trying to make money in London and my granny was taking care of me day to day.
Mm-hmm.
And it had all been sorted. But I didn't know that because they just thought, well, she's young. She won't really remember or realise. Let's all just brush it under the carpet. And it's so interesting because nowadays with my children, everything that happens, we're like, how do you feel about that? Are you okay? Let's talk it through, blah, blah, blah. Just didn't happen back in those days.
No, it did. Look what I was just saying, bro. You just get... It didn't go like that, bro. It just didn't go like that, bro. Like, really, it's kind of sad. Like, kids didn't even have a say back then. Like, my kids are brazy. Like, man will say, tidy up. You have to tidy up your room first. They'll say something cheeky back. I'll be like, whoa, you got character. Because they ain't running, like, when man's doing shit, that ain't running, bro. Like, real shit. Like, it was just a different time. It's just barbaric, really. Like, it was, like, really barbaric the way man was growing up. No cap.
So I grew up thinking that my mum had left me and had never come back. So at about probably 4, maybe 6 months after she'd gone, I realised that I wasn't going to live with her again, but I was left feeling guilty because I felt like my granny was looking after me and she didn't want me in some way. Not that she didn't, she was so loving to me, but somehow I was overstaying my welcome. So I think that was a defining moment because it set up a chain of events, a fear of abandonment that kind of...
See, I said she got abandonment issues. Tell him, man, bro. When you listen to all these stories, everyone's got it kind of same, you know, like everyone's got like the same. You see these broken people, like they all kind of have the same. It all starts from childhood, is what I'm saying, bro. All the time, it always starts from childhood. Every time, it starts from childhood, bro. Like serious shit. Childhood is the golden years where you can make one of the greatest humans or make one of the most broken humans. It's such a vital time, bro. And that's why like having kids is a really big commitment, bro. Like, you gotta have kids properly, man. You have to plan them, bro. You have to plan them, bro. Like, really, I don't believe in all this. Yeah, obviously God's got a plan, but at the same time, she was God's plan too, and like, they could be like God's plan is God's planning, isn't it? But it's just like, I don't know, man. People getting together before they have sex, before God's plan comes into play, like, which is always in play. I understand, but it's just like, it's just deep, man.
Made me make some really stupid decisions all through my teenage years into my 20s. And something that I've worked diligently on since my early 20s to let go of.
Why did your mother do that?
Well, my mum grew up in France with 2 parents who were very loving but didn't know how to...
Love is the key as well. Like, I'm being serious here as well. Like, no, seriously. Love literally makes the world go round. And if you don't get the love, the world's not going round orderly. It's just like a wobbly going round. You know, like, if you spin something, as it's starting to fall, like, love is when you just spun it and it's just going around perfectly and beautifully. But if you don't get love, your world spinning is the wobbly part when it's about to stop spinning. Like, that's what happens, bro. I ain't even joking.
Give her their time. So I think...
As I was just saying to my daughter, be thankful for these conversations that we're having, like, really, because, like, I sit down with my daughters and have, like, conversations to help develop their mind, help shape their mind, help to bloom their thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, listen, appreciate this stuff, you know, because they'll be like, can I do this now because we had this talk? I'm like, bro, this talk is the reward, not you playing game because I had a talk with you, because I ain't have none of that. So understand that this is the value, you know. I'm spending time with you to help shape your mind. Like, really.
My mum needed time and contact, but they just gave her a lot of money. They were quite wealthy. And they just, you know, at 18, they gave her a lump sum of money. She went and spent the whole lot on clothes and Yves Saint Laurent. She got a food disorder. She was very thin. It was the 60s. She was like a model. She had a Faye Dunaway nose job.
Women's faces weren't as symmetrical these times. Women look better now. Still, I'm not dissing her mum. I'm just saying, for her time, she was probably a lengthing back in these days, which speaks volumes. This woman here is probably a lengthing in her day, which is sad, really, because not symmetrical. Eyes are like a bit far apart and stuff. Not to disrespect her mum, though. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying humans, like how humans are getting better looking. Yeah? What's going on? One sec, stream. Guys, we got mukbang. We got mukbang. You got a mukbang in this bitch. Alright, let's get to it. Man's got some pumpkin soup and 3 fluffy dumplings. I don't even want the dumplings, but no. Seriously, she's probably very beautiful for these times, though, man. Like, I'm not disrespecting. Forget her and her story right now for temporarily. I'm just saying, how humans are getting better looking. Because she's probably a very symmetrical face in these times. She's probably, like, as she said, she's a model. So imagine, like, just imagine. But anyway, back to the story. You lot, what am I dealing with right now? Let me just quickly update you, man. Oh, my God. Right now, why has every household got that Sports Direct mug? I don't even know how I got this mug, you know. I don't know how I got this mug, bro. Yeah, I ain't joking. Why do I have this shit in my house? I'm gonna throw this shit away. No, I actually like how big it is still. It's got soup in it though, anyway. It's got soup still. I got pumpkin soup. This is proper pumpkin soup still. Like, this is, I don't want to end up spilling it. And I got like 3 little fluffy dumplings still. I don't know why I got this mug, bro. I don't know how I got this shit, bro. Like, no, really. I don't know how. Yo. Yeah. I don't know how I got this mug. I don't have no memory purchasing it at all. Just found its way in my house, bro. Oh. Thank you. But anyway, like, let's get back to this video. So, before I got back in, she's probably a lengthing back then. So be thankful for all the beautiful women that like where we are in life, really.
She was incredible looking, lots of drugs.
And no disrespect to her mother. Let me say that again. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think you lot know about I don't think you lot know how far women's faces has come. Humans' faces in general. We've come a long way. Like, she's probably even the longest thing if she was to go to her mother's stage. Every man would just be jaw dropped from her. These are the times where they do like the can-can dance. You know, like the strippers, but they're not strippers, but they'll do the can-can. Like, she'd probably be the maddest thing them days. Real talk.
Got a lot of drink, like crazy fun lady. Met my dad. My dad was super hot, like young guy. They were an it couple. He was so in love with her. She was completely out of control. Probably a sex addict when I look back at her life, and unashamedly so. The French are she's French. French are very different about sex. She was kind of, you know, it's only bodies. That was her catchphrase. Like, you know, it's only bodies. And you'd think, no, that's...
Aye, chat. What's the rule for the body count for the bitch? What's the rule for the body count for the bitch? You know what I'm talking about. What's the rule for the body count for the bitch? Man said it's only bodies. Rack them blood clots. That's what her mother's screaming. She said, rack up them blood clots because it's only a body. Woo. Them bitches splitting their souls. That's what I believe anyway. I believe in every sexual encounter, you're splitting your soul. Look at the frame. It's looking like she's talking to me. I'm on the opposite end of the podcast, bro. You know what I'm saying? I need to tell you, hey, listen, your mother needs to settle down. Nah, I'm joking now, because she's probably passing. Oh, shit. Moving a bit rough. No, but I'm just saying the frame. Like, if I was to minus this frame away, wait, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, no. Oh. Wait, one sec. I'm gonna get the frame right. Yeah, oh, it's dead, man. Forget what I'm saying. Anyway, let's go, man. Let's just keep going and chat shit.
Someone's husband. Like, that is, you know what I mean? So looking back, she wasn't well herself, but she was so young. Like, this was, we're talking 22, 23 when she met my dad. She'd already had a child at 16, been forced to marry the father of that child. They'd got divorced. Then she met my dad.
Oh,
so
hard
she was
life.
troubled herself, right?
Troubled.
And my dad tried to help fix her, but it just wasn't going to work.
Good luck. Good luck to your dad. I know what happened to your dad, bro. Your dad probably had like some, no, respectfully though. Your dad probably had some like feelings knowing her past, saying like, let me be the best thing that's happened to her. Like, let me be the light in her life. But guess what? You end up being the light for those type of bitches. And guess what? They take away your light. You're dark now after you leave that bitch. Not her mother. I'm just saying in those scenarios, bro. You end up dark after you try to help heal a bitch. You don't heal bitches. They got to go heal themselves, bro. Like, really.
With someone else, having had several affairs and everything. And my dad was brokenhearted, absolutely brokenhearted. And the courts in the UK, because I was born...
This how you know I'm not capping, bro. Look, I didn't even finish that, bro. She just finished off my sentence, bro. He's left dark after you. They got to heal themselves, bro. If you're watching this thing, bro, and you find a thing and she's lit to you, like she's the thing to you, bro, you can't heal her if she's got like trauma and shit, been beat up by an ex or whatever it is, or been breeded and dashed there, or I don't know. You just can't heal these hoes, bro. Really. Like, your job is to get yourself some money, build your mind. Well, really, build your mind, connect to the creator, and get money and get the best body you can. That's your job, and find peace within yourself. And then you find somebody that's found peace in themselves, and then you come together, and then that's a good ingredient for a beautiful baby's environment. You know, then you have babies. Because it's like, I'm set up, I'm lit, I love myself, I've connected to myself, I've connected to God, or the creator, or whatever you want to call it, and you've done the same. So if we get together, we're two Zen entities, and our baby is gonna be an entity. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, let's go.
In the UK and had been brought up here, gave my granny and my dad custody, which was so rare. So, I'm not sure how hard she fought. I'm not sure that she did, but that was what happened. But I did go and see her in the holidays, but that was...
What do you mean?
Well, quite crazy. Like,
What did you see?
oh my God, like, what didn't I see? I mean, my mum she would wear, this was quite a funny story. I mean, and some of it makes me laugh now, but she'd go out with me, like in a floor-length electric blue coat, and we'd get out, and then she'd go like that to someone, and I'd think,
She'd flash
oh my
them.
God, she's naked. Yes.
Oh,
Like
these French bitches are at it. These French bitches, they're different. They're different.
Naked underneath her coat, and she'd flash someone, she'd think it was hilarious.
And let me tell you something quick. These times, music videos, let me tell you how bad that is. Because these times, like right now, I can go on YouTube and there's literally girls in a thong for a music video. These times, that is actually illegal. Like, really, you're not, like, these are the times where, like, you're put in a place like, be a respectable woman. Women sit with their legs crossed type shit. This is really that era, that patriarchal, man said, get me to France. This is that patriarchal era. So when her mother is walking around doing that in this era where niggas don't get to see tits, there's no internet. Niggas don't be seeing breasts, pussy, arse. Do you get it? Unless they really was working at some factory for some newspaper, getting ink on their hands, poisoning themselves slowly over like 10 years' time, that's when they can get a little pussy. So by her doing that, bang, niggas are wanking to like, niggas are like touching themselves to newspapers. You know what I'm saying? So her mum doing that, she is a bad bitch. Oh, because women just wasn't like that. Women themselves think they didn't fart these times. Like women these times think they're not even like, they don't like sex. Like these times, women don't even think they like sex. And if they did like it, they'll feel guilty about it. Like, oh, I can't believe I liked it. I'm a sinner. Like it's that mindset they're on. They're running on that operating system. So her mother's ahead of her time. I'll be honest, bro. No, really, her mother's ahead of her time, bro. I'm not even joking.
And I'd just be like, oh my God, somebody
she did that with her
like
daughter.
make the world disappear. But at times, it's really hard to explain, but I loved my mother. Like,
You know what she loved
really
her?
wanted.
You know what she loved about her mum? She loved raw. She's a rebel. That's what she loved. She's like, my mother don't give a fuck. That's what she loved. So she's a little kid. Like, no, for real, no. Really, Hailey, that was the mindset of women then. Because I just know. Because you see me, I'm a person that, like, I understand the time that I'm in. And then I'll go back to the old times and I'll try to picture out the little details about it. Then I'll put myself in as a person in that time. And once I'm in that time, it's like I can feel how the time was. Like I don't know how, but I know I know it's like to hold an oil lamp in the dark, and that is the only light. I just know what that feels like. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I really know what it feels like to hold an oil lamp. I've never seen an oil lamp. So I understand the time that she's from. Do you get it? That's mad. But anyway, what she loves about her mother, like, no, Ari. Oh, you did that? Huh? No, what? One sec, chat. One sec. No, leave it. Leave it. Oh. Anyway, let's get back to this. Yeah. So look. I know what she loves about her mum. It's not that it's her mum. It's that, like, when I was little, I had to go stay with like my aunties and shit. I told you about my household briefly, innit? Like it was dysfunctional as fuck. But I had an uncle called Uncle Wayne, and when I went round there, he'll be doing this and shit. I'll be like, what the fuck's that? It was weed. In my household, I've never seen this shit. And then he'll burn it, and I'll smell it. I'm like, that smells fucking good. What is that? You know what I'm saying? Then I started putting him on some pedestal, like, raw, this shit bills it. Like, I don't know what billing it is, but I know what he's doing. I just knew it was weed now. Like, I don't know. I had a weird brain. Like, once I've been exposed to something, I'm like, I know what you do with it. I just can simulate it. I could just feel what you do. So he'll be billing it, and then, like, he'll have, like, chains on, and he'll be playing Tekken, like, on PlayStation 1. I'll be like, oh. So it's like you kind of want to be them. So, because they look like a rebel to you, because you're impressionable. So really, she's like looking at her mum like, she's a bad bitch. I don't know what to say about it, but why is she actually flashing niggas? Like, I'm confused about it. But really, it was low-key badass. Like, that's what she's doing, bro. Like, that's what she's doing in the head.
Her to pull some mummy business out the bag. Like, I was like, come on, you can do this. And sometimes she'd give me a hug and I'd think, oh my God, this is it. Like, this is what it feels like to be hugged by mother. But then other times you'd be reading her, right? It'd be like, well, I've got to be a sweet little girl. Oh no, I'm going to have to take care of you. Or like, now I have to be really good fun. I need to entertain you. It was always wearing 1,000 different hats to see how she was going. And my granny used to say to me when we did start talking about it when I was older, she said we'd have to, like, kind of, it would be funny for a month when you came back from France. You'd be a little bit on edge, and we'd have to just really get you back into your favourite foods, a routine at bedtime, safety, re-ground me.
Yes. I
So
understand.
when I say I'm half nun, half wild child, it's because of that life that I've had. Like,
So her mum is the dark side. YOLO. Lit bitch, bad bitch, city girls from before city girls and city girls, all that type shit. And her grandma was brush your teeth, put on your 90, and she'd bring her like a little tea before bed and read her bedtime book. And then when she goes to her mum's yard, it's no bedtime, fuck it, we're out here, order pizza, it's 1 a.m, come let's go shop. It's that life, basically, kind of.
drugs at 12 with my mum. Like,
You were doing drugs with
yeah,
your mum?
like smoking weed at 12, coke at 15, 14.
With your
even.
mum?
I did coke with my mum at 15. I did it with my sister at 14. You know, it's like there was no.
I wanna hear more
And then
about
I'd
that.
get back to the UK, and it would be back into your secondhand clothes and sort of safe small life, like simple.
She's a rock star with her mother. Sorry if I'm eating like that, but she's a rock star with her mother.
My life was very simple. I mean, I say secondhand clothes just to give you an idea. I was in my granddad's jumper and an old pair of jeans, and I get to Paris and they go, "What are you wearing? Here's loads of money. Go and buy some posh loafers and get your hair done." And I'm 12, like I look like a proper Lolita. But I'd quickly realised that my life in Paris and my life in the UK, they must never know about each other. Because if they knew in the UK about my life,
Personal compartmentalization. So she'll start to like kind of develop split personalities or lead a second life type shit. You know what I'm saying? That
in Paris, they wouldn't let me see my mum. And I didn't care how mad she was. I still wanted to see her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So my sister also was my lifeline in Paris. So my sister, who was 6 years older than me, even though we did do drugs together, and I know that sounds bad, but she was my rock. Like she grounded me when I was in Paris. So we stuck together. We understood what mum was like. We worked her together.
Caroline.
Yeah, Caroline, yeah. And then my mum, you know, but
God bless her.
I did like going to Paris, and also because I was young and they didn't stop me from doing anything. It was crazy.
Having sat here with stand-up comedians,
I'm interested when the first time she had sex, because if that's going on, has she been like taken advantage of? Because that's how it goes, bro. That's how it goes. Like, those kind of volatile children are easily to be taken advantage of, and this contributes to the broken personality. You know what I'm saying? So
Jimmy Carr said to me, he said, often it's assumed that comedians themselves are depressed and that they're cracking jokes to kind of cheer other people up in an attempt to cheer themselves up. But he said to me, you should actually ask them which one of their parents is depressed. Which one of their parents were they trying to please and entertain? You said earlier, you know, did I have to be this one day? Or did I have to be a joker? Did I have to take care of her? Was your personality shaped by that desire to sort of keep her in good spirits or win
People
over
pleaser.
her affection?
I think it taught me some amazing skills in reading people. So also my granny was unbelievably good at this as well. So people used to think my granny was psychic because somebody would walk in the room and she'd go, "Are you okay?" And they'd walk in smiling, but there would be an eyebrow raise or a flicker of an eye or something, and she'd go, "You all right?" And they go, "Oh God, your granny's psychic." Then, like, she can read me, she can see straight through me. I feel like being with my mother, she could walk. I could hear by the way she walked what person she was going to be when she walked through the door. I could hear the steps coming, and I'd think, I know how to behave the minute she walks through that door. So that's an amazing gift,
I get it.
and that's how I
get it.
choose to see everything.
That's why I shouldn't judge no one as well. Like, I disagree with all the coke shit, all to this day. And you know what it is? Now that she's got sense, she's gonna disagree with it. But there's just so much different walks of life, bro. You just can't judge no one, bro. Like, niggas are shotting coke, and then she's taking coke. Niggas go prison. She goes in the TV shows and shit. It's just so much different walks of life, and everyone's just seeing stuff from like one side of the story type shit. That's why it's good to simulate. Try to be other people in your mind. Like, be like, jump into her timeline. Feel what it's like to sit in the house and wait for her mum to come back. Feel the clock ticking. Feel whatever was in the house. Like, what's she playing with? Like what's occupying her? The little magazines that she'll be like, mum's gone. Let's go look for the magazines and look at all the pretty girls in the magazines and shit. Be like, so this is mum's style. I want to impress mum type shit. Mum's coming back. Hide the magazine. Or mum's walking this way. I'm gonna be a bad bitch too. Or mum might be a bit upset right now. This is a depressed kind of. I'm sensing that she's depressed. There's just so much different walks of life, bro. That's why, like, you just don't judge people. Don't judge people for the way, when I heard 15 coke with your mum, I'm like, what the fuck? But now I'm hearing it. There's always more to it, bro. Like, no, seriously, like, there's always more to it. And I actually am understanding already. Like, without even being into it too tough, I'm understanding.
It's happened to
Crazy.
me. I am absolutely not a victim. Sure, some of it's been hard. And it's like you said, I'm happy. We were talking just before we started. I'm happy. And yes, life throws me curveballs. But I choose to learn from those and still be happy rather than cling on to the curveball and let it pull me down. But I often want...
This is what I'm trying to say. We're all the same. But the only thing that makes us different is what came into our paths while we was growing. Apart from that, we're literally all the same. So, for example, I'm born and another person's born. But I go into my household, they go into their household. You know, you come pick up your baby in the car seat from the hospital, they're going home. I'm gone into my household, door closed. They went into next door closed. In my house, there's no, I didn't have no drugs. I wasn't exposed to drugs. I didn't have no drugs in my household at all. But they're shouting and shit in my house. It's violent. And next door, they have chess out in front of them. And then those two kids come outside. They're just being shaped and molded by what was present, type shit. They're essentially the exact same baby. Whether it's black or white, you're essentially the exact same baby. And the only thing that makes you different is what was put in front of you. So every baby is basically the same thing. They're exactly the same thing. And only thing that makes them different is when they go home and what's inside their home. What colours was the walls? What paintings was on the walls? What items was around them? You know what I'm saying? You know, I remember this statue that my mum had, that shaping her personality. It's just everything that's put in front of you makes you different by the time you come back out when you go to school and shit. Apart from that, we're all the same. So judge nobody, I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Judge no one. Because, if I was put in her situation, I don't want to sniff coke. But I'm speaking like that because in my household, there was no drugs around. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I have to be able to simulate this shit. In my household, there was no drugs. So now, I hear, you're doing drugs. I'm like, what the fuck? You do drugs? But she didn't get it like that. Her mum's offering her the drugs. So it's be like, this is her mum. You know, your protector offering it to you. She'd be like, I trust her, so I'm doing it. What the fuck, bro? You can't judge no one, bro. Because I'm speaking because I was judging. I was judging her. I read the thumbnail. I did coke with my mum at 50. I'm thinking, what the fuck? That's loose. And I understand it. I don't understand it, but I could just see how it can happen type shit. I understand. It's sad.
Whether it was the hardship that made me... small wins or little wins in my life were massive.
Oh, yeah.
A hug from my mum that felt a little bit like a parental hug rather than a needy or an angry or... that would be a huge, I'd dine out on that for a month. I'd be like, but I got a hug 2 weeks ago that was epic. You know, so I think you hold on to these little things.
I didn't get no hugs when I was growing up. I don't want to go into all that. But that's why I'm even watching this, to be honest. I didn't get no hugs when I was growing up. So I really know what she's talking about. I didn't get no hugs growing up. No hugs. No hugs. And you don't know that it's fucking you up until you don't know it's fucking you up until someone tries to hug you and you be like, what, that feels weird, man, don't touch me. And then you clock, I got fucked up. When you watch other people hugging and shit, you be like, is that normal? Because to me, it's not normal to hug somebody. Do you know what I'm saying? It's weird, man.
But I don't know, some kids might not, they might not see or feel that thing because they don't have that in them. I wonder whether we are born with it. It's such an interesting concept, positivity. Can you make yourself positive if you aren't?
I think we're already positive. I think we're born positive, and as I was just saying, like, what comes in front of us is what shapes us. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever spoken to the Speakmans? I remember going on this morning. The Speakmans are a couple, Nick and Eva. They're on this morning as kind of psychology experts. They help you train yourself out of patterns of behaviour. Those guys said something that if you are a negative person at the end of, it's raining and it's rained for the third day in a row, you finish your negative sentence with, but luckily. And you have to say, but luckily, and then think of something, but luckily. But luckily, it was so dry in the summer, it does mean that the reservoirs will be full. And you finish every negative thought with a positive. And they said it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to naturally start thinking, but that's probably...
She's talking about the, what is it? The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. How to substitute a wrong thought for a positive thought.
Not a bad thing. But it's just remembering to do that is so hard.
When you were like 16, 17, you said you'd started doing drugs with your mother in France. But what did you want to be when you were older? If I'd asked you at 16...
I probably need to clarify, actually, that me and my mum only did drugs twice.
Okay.
I mean, I know that's times too many in my book. But I don't want to give this impression that she and I were taking tons of drugs together, because that would be a false impression.
Okay.
But once is enough.
I just needed to put that there, yeah.
Anytime.
But what did I want to be when I was 16? Yeah, I was quite nihilistic, I think, in a way. I wasn't thinking about anything except for the weekend. And where was I going to go, and what club could I go to, and how could I go out, and how could I party? And that was beginning. I moved to London when I was nearly 14. And when I moved to London, suddenly the safety of the country had disappeared, and I started finding ways to go out and take drugs and find people that took drugs in London. I was living with my dad and my stepmom, and they were very kind of solid, straight people, but my life did slightly change then. So I wasn't really thinking about anything at that point. Really, the time when I started forming an idea, and I was basically just a show-off, would have been 18.
I was basically just a show-off.
Yeah. Because I think because I had this fear of abandonment, if I did, look at me, enough. Look at me, I'm here, everybody, don't leave me, needy, people pleaser, everybody like me, like that. That's who I was.
I understand.
And actually, what drugs did for me at that time was they made me feel safe. They made me feel like I was being hugged in that maternal way, that they filled this hole that I had here. And then as soon as the drugs started running out, the hole would fill up, the hole would be there again. And I think, oh my God, where's the nearest thing I can get? Laughter, attention, drug, help fill the hole. So I was always a bit of kind of...
Yeah, but it's psychological, it's sad still.
Bit of a
I know what
show-off.
she's saying.
And at 18, you drop out of university?
Never went. Nearly
okay.
went to university. Didn't go to university.
Yeah, pick me.
And this is always something that I
pick me still. But
want to say to
for
kids.
real reasons,
I
though.
didn't really
It's
know
real.
what I was doing. I was an absolute car crash.
I feel like I understand why she's taking drugs. And I don't... you heard me at the beginning. I was kind of venting, but no, I actually understand. Because I just feel her timeline. Feel it. Feel her timeline. I think I understand why she's taking drugs. But she's just broken. And that was like a plaster. The drugs was just a plaster, a temporary fix. But the plaster falls off and the cut's still there. And she's just like, another plaster. Another plaster, another plaster. It's masking her pain for acceptance from her mum, her dad, whoever. She didn't get to grow up traditionally with her mum in the household type shit. And I don't know, man. She just needs to. She seeks approval, innit?
say
crazy.
until I was 20.
And then without like the drugs, you know, she said the drugs makes her feel like she's being hugged and shit. Without that, she ends up feeling like I ain't got a hug. Sad, man. It's really like childhood issues, man. Everything comes down to that.
24. So when I was 19, I'd left school. I went to Australia for a few months. I came back and I thought, I'm going to save up money.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
understand it still a little
go
bit.
working.
Feel sorry
save
for
up
it.
some
I
money. I'm
relate.
gonna
No,
try
I
and get
don't
enough
relate. I can't say I relate because I don't understand. But I can empathize with her timeline. I can still, I'll be honest. But I'm really against that shit. Like, really. I don't... Not fucking with it. Not fucking with it. Not near me, nothing. But I empathize with her childhood upbringing and how it can split her personality and, you know, throw her off into the deep end, man. Fuck it. She didn't have a nice setup, man. She weren't steady.
To go back to Australia and live there. I loved it out there. I was clean. I wasn't taking any drugs. I was just driving to the beach. I mean, it was such a different me. And I liked that me. That was the nun. Like, my nun was freed in Australia, and I thought, I quite like this person.
You said seeking approval. You think it will eventually shift over to mainly male approval that she wants. I don't think she's really touched on it. To be fair, I think it was both at the same time. So I reckon like the drugs, I reckon she's taken a line or two and she's like, fuck me, fill me up. I feel empty. No, really. I feel empty. Fuck me. So 2 lines, you come out, I want you to fuck me. Like, give me some affection. So I think it was all at the same time. I don't think it's when it's over. I reckon, because you have to simulate it. She's got one version, she's like, oh, this helps me a bit. And she would have had sex. Drugs and sex goes together tremendously because drugs kind of bring out your raw urges. So you just see somebody be like, I want to fuck that type shit. So she's going to be on that. And plus she's been introduced to her mum flashing, you know. Her mum's flashing and shit. So she's going to be on like, him. I want him. She'll probably go up to him like, I want you to fuck me right now in this toilet. Not in the toilet, innit? But you know what I'm just saying? Just really like, brr. Maybe in the toilet, fuck. Happens too. But yeah, I reckon she's taking the drugs and seeking male approval and wanting like to be the limelight. I think everything, man. Everything to fill the whole of the abandonment issues.
I like who I am. And then...
And now she's in Australia. She's a different side of her. I told you, like, it's going to be like split personality, bro. So now she's in Australia. It's like, I've never studied psychology or no shit like this, by the way. Because I'm speaking, I don't know if I'm speaking like I know psychology, but I've been alive long enough to pay attention to human patterns and behaviors. And I've have my own abilities to simulate people's minds. I can kind of become somebody, kind of. I don't know. I can kind of feel what it's like to be a person. Like, I'll listen to a few little details, and off those little details, I can become you type shit. Kind of. I can kind of figure out what your life's like, and I feel it as you. Like, I can put myself in your shoes really well.
A girlfriend of mine said, I'm going to Saint-Tropez for 2 weeks. Do you want to come? And I was like, yeah, but I haven't got much money because I had all my savings and stuff, and I didn't want to delve into that. She had quite a lot of money, and bless her, she came on the coach with me from Victoria down to Saint-Tropez, and her parents had a house there. And then I started dipping into the savings. And then in 2 weeks, I'd spunked £800 that I'd saved up for my flight to go back to Australia. And I never went back. And that was a kind of, you know, that was the wild child me, dancing on tables in Le Cave du Roi in Saint-Tropez till God knows what time in the morning, hitching a lift off people in Ferraris, trying to get back to, I mean, awful, danger everywhere. How I'm still alive, I've got no idea.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But hilarious, you know, it was just part of my path. But that meant that I never went back to Australia. And I got a job as a waitress. I was a really, really good waitress. I loved waitressing. Did you ever do that?
Well, my mum had a restaurant when I was super young, so I did it a little
funny
bit.
though.
But I was so young that I was more just of a gimmick. You know, he'll get loads of tips because he's 11.
Yeah.
But not properly, no.
I learnt a lot. I bet you did.
I learned a ton from working in that restaurant, about people and customer service and stuff. And then I worked in there was a shop called Republic, like retail a lot. I worked a lot on.
I did that as
yeah.
well.
What did you learn?
Well, just people.
People
I
skills,
mean,
yeah.
People. I got arrested. I got arrested, bro. And it, like I was in a bad case, bro. So I had to work in Tesco, like to help the case. And this is how, like, before that, I've never ever had a job. Never had a job. Never had a job before that. And this is how I figured out there's two types of humans by working in Tesco. So alhamdulillah for the job. I realized by working at Tesco, there's two types of people by the way they interact with me. Because sometimes I'll be on tills, unfortunately. Head down type shit. I hate that shit. Two types of humans. There's bots, robot, zombies walking around. They look like humans, but they're zombies. And there's spirits, actual people you can communicate with and be like, I like your hair. They'll be like, oh my gosh, thank you, like type shit. Humans in, like a spirit in human form. And then there's actual robot, like Terminator, in human bodies. That's what I learned in Tesco. Oh. One sec. Shit. One sec. Yeah, Hallie, you got me still. We're back? Yeah, we're back, man. I had a spare camera though, but yeah, we got two shots right now. So yeah, there's two types of humans essentially, guys. Robots in human skin and actual spirits in human skin. The spirits in human skins are real people, and the bots are just NPCs, like in GTA. Like, you know, when you pull somebody out the car and they go, ah, and they run off all stupid. There's actual bots in the world like that, by the way. Like, really. Like, if you drive and shit, pay attention to how bare people line up in one line, but it could be two lanes, and everyone's just in one line. It's like, just drive to the front of the empty one, bro. But nobody does it. Because there's fucking bots in the world, bro. Anyway, let's go.
Skills and what people want, and that the customer is the most important person.
You said people pleaser.
Yeah, I mean, that was my natural habitat. So I'd go and I'd like make people feel amazing while they're having their meal and make sure that they had the best service ever. And it felt like a win to me. You know, at the end of the night, I thought, I've done a really good job. I've made loads of people really happy. And that made me feel good about myself.
That
so it was a great job for me.
Psychological shit.
When did you first realise that you wanted to do something in media, TV? Or was it more chance?
Yeah, no, so that's quite a good story. So I was working, I got a job at Models One after the, and it was by chance, it was complete fluke.
I think I'm done with this though. I just was interested in cocaine.
The male models.
Wait, let me just go to your mummy.
What drug causes that?
So heroin. So
she hasn't done that.
Someone, can I get your number?
Wait.
Because I'd love to kind of look at job prospects at MTV. Would it be all right? And he's like, yeah, sure. I had the number and I thought, I'm gonna call this guy. And then I called him and I said, you know, would it be all right? Can I to sort of send you a show reel if I did a show reel, because I'd like to be a presenter on, I didn't even know the word VJ then, on MTV. And he was like, yeah, sure. And I started making show reels, and I must have sent him like 3 a year and relentlessly called him until he said, please stop calling me after a couple of years. He said, could you just, like, I can't give you a job at the moment. We only want European presenters. And I said, can you give me someone else's number?
Yeah,
and
no,
call
really.
them instead. And he went, yeah, you can take
That
Mike
story.
Kaufman's number. So I took Mike Kaufman's number. And eventually, a year later, Mike Kaufman said,
No. Yeah, don't get confused. I was interested in her cocaine story because it said I did cocaine with my mum at 15. And I was like, what? What's going on there? And it piqued my interest. Like, who would do cocaine with their mum at 15 years old, bro? Like, what the fuck kind of mum is that? What the fuck type of 15-year-old are you? Do you get it? So that piqued my interest.
there's a vacancy. So I'm 24.
I'm done with this in a
I've
second.
just got clean. I'm 6 months clean and sober. I'm absolutely
says clean-
radioactive. I can't believe I'm sober. Can't believe I'm waking up with dry sheets. That my pillow, we're talking about small wins. My sheets were dry in the morning, and I'd know when I woke up and I saw daylight, and I think, I know this is morning. This is amazing. That's such a win.
Sheets are dry.
Yeah, sweating. I used to sweat in bed, withdrawing at night, and my sheets were dry.
What drug
Yeah.
is that?
So heroin. So I was.
Oh my gosh, she took Bodge. Oh my gosh, she took Bodge. That is incredibly frightening. I can't lie to anyone. I can't lie. Bodge is it's Bodge. It's Bodge. It's bad for you. Like real bad for you, man. It's Bodge, bro. Oh fuck, she took Bodge. It's heroin Bodge. I'll be honest, like I don't know it, but fuck, bro. Heroin. Wait. I'll be honest. I don't actually know about this shit. Like really, I really don't. Like, there's the black one. I think that's Bodge, and then there's the white one. So there's the light, and then there's the dark, the beige one, and then like the white one. So heroin. Oh, she took light. She took light. Yeah, she took light. That's dirty. That's the dirty one. They're all dirty.
In the end, addicted to heroin for maybe the last 3 months of my using. But the nun took over, I think, at that point and was like, you are addicted now, you have to stop.
What was that moment can you really zoom in on that moment of you reach a point and you go, this has to change?
Man.
So my best friend had said she was going to take me to Santana. She didn't use or drink really. She'd had a brain injury when she was younger and she couldn't for 10 years, so she didn't.
Wait, let's pause. Chat, what does this teach you about having children? We have to reflect here. What does this teach you about having children? Come on, chat. From this story, what I've learned is whatever you expose your children to has a very, very... Obviously, we know this, but we don't deep it. Everything we expose our children to has a very, very prolonged effect up into their adulthood. So our job as parents and parents to be is to make sure we set up the absolute correct environment. There is such thing as bad eggs, but sometimes we are like creating the bad eggs. Do you know what I'm saying? She must have some kind of psychological damage and physical damage, no doubt. No doubt. Like, no, you're right. You're spot on there still, because like, that's bad for you, man. Stay clean, man. Drugs is weak as fuck, bro. Like, drugs is weak as fuck.
She got me into her car and I was like, I'm so excited about going to see Santana. I was probably...
What's Santana?
It's a band.
Ah.
Stephen Bartlett.
I know, sorry.
Go and do some revision.
Okay, I'm so Santana.
Okay,
We'll
can
play
I
it all
just say
day.
something? You're going to really like them.
Santana, I'm going to like him. Really? Okay.
And
She's a cat.
I got in the car and she shut the doors and she said, I'm actually not going to take you to Santana. I need to tell you some things. I was like, yeah. And she said, I know that you've been lying to me. Weirdly, I'd been off heroin for a month at that point because I'd been away. I'd done a geographical. I'd gone away looking after someone's, nannying for someone for 2 weeks and got clean. And then I'd also been with my mum in Morocco. So I'd had...
In this interview, yes, I agree. She looks healthy. But what I will say in this interview is she's been on TV, so that means she knows what makeups to use, bro. You know, TV people look like they don't even have a spot on their skin. You know why? Because they have all the right contour things, whatever. I don't know what it's called. Magic. They put the right magic on. So she's obviously, you know, when you're in showbiz for so long, you just, you know, you learn what's what. You know what lenses are. You know what lighting is. You know what I'm saying? You know what makeup is. She's gone to the point of TV where she knows what makeup is. So, excuse me. She knows what makeup is, bro.
No heroin for a month, but I had just come off the back of a 24-hour cocaine bender, which had made me realise that heroin wasn't my problem. All drugs were my problem. If I wasn't taking heroin, I couldn't take cocaine normally either. I couldn't just take it for 4 hours and then go to bed. I had to take it for 24 hours.
So she said she quit heroin, but she's taking cocaine. I was under the idea of that, like, she's gone like when she said there's no more sweating. I thought like she turned to a good girl, like no cocaine, but she's still having cocaine. She just quit one thing, heroin. So it's like she stopped drinking beer, but she's still drinking cigarettes type shit. Or not drinking cigarettes, smoking cigarettes.
Animal. I thought, oh my God, I'm not just addicted to heroin. Heroin's not a problem. It's all drugs. I've got to stop. She gets me in the car and she goes, I know you've been lying to me. We all know you've been lying to us, all your friends. And you are the topic of conversation at every dinner party I go to. And this shame starts piling on. And I started feeling a bit, well, fuck you to her. And this is virtually my only friend I've got left. And I do say, well, fuck you. Like, fuck you. I didn't really know what to say because I couldn't really argue with what she was saying. And I said, yeah, well, I didn't want to go and see something really childish, like I didn't want to go and see Santana anyway. Get out of the car. I'm trying to get out of the car. She slightly shut the doors. It's all eggy, awkward. Slam the door, walk away from her, immediately burst into tears and think, I'm not going to turn back round and let her see I'm crying, you know. Get inside, go straight to bed. My parents, you know, I was sleeping on a camp bed in my dad's sort of wardrobe. I'd move out of my boyfriend's home. His fault that I was using, I'd got worse. I'd left my job. I thought that was the thing that was making me use. I'd got worse. I had a car, but no money to put petrol in the car. I had nothing. I was on this camp bed and I would sort of walk into my room, which wasn't really a room, it was a cupboard, sit on the bed, go to sleep. And then an hour later I wake up and I think, I'm going to phone someone for help. I'm fucked.
When she says help, I think she means drugs. Because before she said, I need help. And she meant drugs. So I think she's saying, I'm fucking getting heroin.
I can't do this anymore. I phoned this woman who I knew was clean. And it was as if she'd been expecting my call. She goes, oh, hi, Davina. And I was like, I was just wondering if you're going to a meeting tomorrow. She's like, yeah, I'm going at 6 o'clock, you know, World's End. Come and meet me there. I was like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm just interested to see what, you know, like what it's like. She's just, yeah, great.
Oh, I think she actually means she needs help now. I think she actually wants to go to a program like, my name's this and I use this. Yeah, I think she actually means help.
If you want. She didn't ask me what's going on. She didn't ask, which was exactly right. And the next morning I woke up and I felt so full of shame. And I thought, I'll go and see Sarah. So I went to see Sarah at work at lunchtime. I sobbed. I said, I'm not expecting you to believe me. And I know I'm going to have to prove myself. But I just wanted to let you know I want to change and I want to do something about it. And I'm going to go to a meeting tonight. And I could see a slight sort of, are you really? Is this really going to happen? I just thought, I don't know how much more I can tell you, but I really, really mean it. So I went to a meeting that night, just spent the next 2 weeks going to meetings every day. Well, and for 90 days after, just sobbing in every meeting of surrender.
Yeah, she's at them
I don't
AA
care what
talks.
I have to do. I will literally do anything to stop feeling like this. And NA taught me how to live and how to change and how to heal myself. I owe NA my life, literally. But it also gave me my career. And weirdly, having tried to get a job at MTV while I was using all those years, the time they say, come in for an interview, we're going to finally screen test you after 3 years of trying, I was 6 months clean.
Alhamdulillah.
And I didn't mess it up. You know, I turned up on time. In fact, I turned up a bit early. That was new for me. I turned up clean and smelling like flowers and with a smile on my face and colour in my cheeks. That was new for me.
You said NA taught you how to heal. What did you learn about healing? And what did you learn about why you were addicted to narcotics?
I'm interested now. I'm not gonna lie. I just see a chapter called Hypnosis. healing trauma. I'm really interested in that because I'm really like obsessed with suggestion. I'm obsessed with suggestion, like suggesting to yourself, I am happy. Like, you know, you keep saying that every day. I am happy, and you know, you actually turn happy. So I kind of do want to keep watching a little bit. What are you saying, chat? Should we keep watching this or not?
Well, I learned about fear of abandonment. I probably hadn't heard that as a phrase. Then I did have like another transformational moment when I got hypnotized
Suggestion.
for a job that I was doing about 8 years ago. And that was when the impermeable seal went on my fear of.
This is the subconscious mind. Like, so they're using, see, like Halle, you see how we was talking about the laws earlier. This is how she healed. She's saying, like, this chapter is called hypnosis. You lot can't see it here like that. But wait, if I do it like that, yeah, look down here. If you look, it says hypnosis healing trauma. All right, cool, gang. We're on the same page.
Abandonment, and it was unexpected because I wasn't going.
So she's saying how she got healed is using the laws. This is what she's saying. She's not saying that, but I know that because I study it. So I actually just went ahead. So basically, like, they'll put her in a look before we even watch it. Let's just see if I have an overstanding of it. Look, so they'll put her in her deep sleep, drowsy state, but she's awake, but she's just really drowsy, and she's relaxed and she's floppy like this. And then they'll suggest to her things. It's like, you are whole, you are perfect. You are perfect, you are whole. Just shit like that, man. Like mind control almost. But you can do it to yourself and shit. Let's watch.
To the hypnotist about that. I was going to the hypnotist about not feeling anxious going in a submarine to 1,000 meters under the sea. Tiny 3-person submarine where you can't stand up and there's no loo, and it takes 40 minutes to get to the surface again.
I'm not on that.
And I thought, I don't get claustrophobia, but I don't want to find out at 1,000 meters under the sea that I am indeed claustrophobic. So I thought I'd better go and get hypnotized just to make sure. And that was, have you ever done hypnotism?
No.
Oh, man.
Very powerful shit still, but I would say don't let nobody hypnotize you from now. If you want to hypnotize yourself. And when I say hypnotize, don't think of nothing too mad. Just keep telling yourself stuff. So look in the mirror, or don't look in the mirror, or just close your eyes, lay down in a comfortable position type shit, and just be like, I am successful, I am strong, or whatever you want. I am healthy. That is to suggest to your mind that you are healthy. Oh, yeah, there was a missing submarine. I still don't know about that fully, you know, but I'm just not on being in the Mariana Trench and them thing there. Like, what am I there for? Like, I just don't understand, bro. Like, I just don't feel safe. I feel very much out of control, and I love control. Like, I love to control my life, at least. Like, down there, you're finished, man. Like, I don't belong down here.
You've got an issue that is something that you've worked on a lot and is hard to let go of. I mean, I didn't even think really that my fear of abandonment issue was still there, but I do think it was. And we did some regression work where I went back to me in the kitchen looking at my granny thinking, my mum's not going to come back and I don't know what to do and I feel a bit guilty. I think I've overstayed my welcome. And the hypnotist said, go get that Davina.
That was buried in her subconscious mind. I study this shit, you lot. Like, this is all I kind of care about. This chapter of my life is about learning about myself and subconscious mind and the true origins of the universe. And what she's speaking of is the laws. You know, like how we just watched Conan say it's like he was practicing and he's putting the key in the door and then it's like he was preparing for the situation. His subconscious mind brought about the situation. And it's like your subconscious mind stores all the records of whatever happens to you. It's beautiful, man. I can't leave it. I'm so obsessed with it right now.
Take her by the hand. He said, where's your favourite place in the garden? I said, the oak tree. So he said, take her to the oak tree. So I took her over to the oak tree. Little me, 4 years old.
This is at this age, but she's in a hypnotist, going back in her memories, saying, bring your little self when you're 4 years old, but it's her now, saying, let's go to the oak tree. And so she's going back in her memories. The law of assumption, which you called, which is the law of experience. She's doing that, but backwards, because she has experienced it type shit.
He said, okay, sit her down. I sat her down. And he said, you know, comfort. I said, she looks worried. And he said, comfort her. I said, I feel silly. I don't know what to do. It's me. It feels weird. And he said, imagine she was one of your own children. Comfort her as if she was your child. So I put my arm around her. And I thought, okay, this is easier. And then her head went on my chest. And I was stroking her hair. I said, I don't know what to say. I kept thinking he's looking to me to say something profound and I've got no idea how to do this. And he said, well, why don't you tell her it's all going to be okay? And I really started crying, like really crying.
Trauma. Your subconscious mind holds on to all emotions that's passed through you that you really felt. So all that crying out is what she's hiding. Like, you know where niggas go through bad shit in their life, you know, been shot at, all kinds of shit, been nicked, all kinds of shit. And they just brush it off like, yeah, it is what it is, bro, it's part of the game type shit. One day, that's like a dam, and one day it's gonna go and burst out. So her tears right now is the dam exploding.
Right.
And he said the same thing, what's up? And I said, it's not going to be okay. I take drugs, I make stupid decisions, I put myself in danger. It's bad. And he went, but look at you now. And it was like, oh my God, look at me now. I'm great. And it was like everything went, you know, all the cogs and the wheels in my brain all went click. I am going to be okay. And I looked at her and I got like her head in my hands and I was like, you are going to be okay. Your life is going to be amazing and it will be full of, you know, ups and downs, but you are going to be okay. And he said, you can take her back. Let's take her back. So I went back to the kitchen and I put her down in the seat and she's smiling at me. And then he says, we can leave now. But he said, before we leave, I want you to just turn around and look at her one last time and tell me what she looks like. I said, she looks happy. And he said, great. And then he brought me round. I was like bawling. This is amazing. What's happened? What's just happened? And he said, we've planted a seed. And he said, let's
Seed
just
of
wait
thought.
and see
The seed of thought.
what happens there. He said, this was basically to stop you feeling like you're going to be abandoned at the bottom of the sea. But actually, I think maybe we've done something bigger here. It might be kind of amazing what happens. And a couple of things happened after that where I said, actually, it's not okay to treat me like that. I would never have said that before because I was worried you'd abandon me. If I stood up to you and said, not okay, I'd think, oh, you might not like me anymore. It was very important that everybody liked me.
Oh.
And suddenly I was like, actually, I can stand up for myself in a non-aggressive way and not actually mind if you like me or not because I'm doing it for me. Oh my God, it was mega. And I feel like from that moment, I've been a different person in all of my decisions, in my outlook on life. It's been mega.
So your
Interesting.
career
So
then
I'm
in
going to go
TV,
to manifesting and I'm out.
one of the things
Which is pre-manifesting.
there's this word manifestation you've used in this conversation. What role and what does that mean to you? You know, you're talking there about proactively like attacking the day. I almost liken it to the analogy I've given before is when you get in your car in the morning, you set the sat nav, which is the manifestation, but then you've got to drive. If you just do one, if you just drive, you're going to get lost. If you just set the sat nav, you're going to be in your garage all day. You have to do both together. You've talked about how you attack, like send the email, make the phone call, pester the person at MTV.
Love
Then what
action.
role does like the manifestation play in all of that?
it's interesting because you said it's all very well putting it in the sat nav is the manifestation, but then you've got to drive the car.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I see that if you know where you're going, your car self drives. Like,
thought guides action, I think she's saying.
you almost are always walking in the direction because you can see it. I know that at some point I will do this.
This is spiritual shit she's talking about.
Interesting.
So I've sent this email to this woman, and I've just told you about it because this was a manifestation. It's triggered my memory that I've told this. I'm going to send a follow-up email today. Now, is my car self-driving? It kind of is, like, because I've been telling you about a manifestation because I had it in the first place. You've just reminded me. I'm going to send the email.
That for me is the difference, though, because there's so many people, and we all know them, that have sofa ideas. They'll turn to you while they're watching. I've got this idea for this TV show.
Sometimes they're really good, right?
Fantastic. But it doesn't matter because they don't have the next bit, which is, I'm going to get up and send an email. And like you've just said, I'm going to send another one. That for me is turning the key in the ignition.
Yes, maybe,
You know,
yeah.
there's a lot of people that are going, oh, sat nav, Tom, this is where I want to go someday. And then they just relax back into the chair in the car and nothing happens. And then there's some people I meet, tends to be the people that sit here with me, that took that weird kind of nothing to lose first step. And you go, that was rude. Or you go, oh, really? You just like showed up there? Or you just begged them on email? And those are the people that I tend to sit here with.
So Anita Roddick started the Body Shop, and she lit kind of my, lit the wick of kind of lit the fuse, of my interest in activism. And she was saying, if you don't think that you have the power as one person, then you've never been to bed with a mosquito. She said, be as annoying as a mosquito.
Persistence.
And I was like, I think that's me. I am as annoying as a mosquito. And that when I meet somebody, and I bet you're the same, Stephen.
The ingredients are
When
here.
you see a kid and a kid comes up to you and goes, Stephen, can I have your number? Because I've got an idea and I want to come and pitch it to you. You would go, yes, absolutely. Whereas other people might think, oh, I can't do that because he's Stephen Bartlett, or I'll have to email him, or, oh no, I've seen him on the telly, I can't approach him. But when you meet a ballsy kid and they go, can I come and shadow you for a day? Or give me your number, you think, yeah, sure.
Because I always respect the tenacity and the asking. I see myself in it a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember I was doing this podcast one day, and I was recording with a guest, and then I got up to walk out, and the person they brought with them in their entourage was their niece, and she goes to me, "Hi, Stephen. I know you're leaving, and I know you've just interviewed my auntie, but I have a podcast I've just started, and I would like you to be on it. So can we record it now?"
Did you say yes?
I was like, of course. I was like, let's sit down. And we sat down and recorded for like 45 minutes for her podcast.
Stop it.
Her podcast is killing it. Shivani, isn't it? She's killing it now. Like, when I say killing it, she's actually killing it. She's like killing it now. But I remember doing a post on LinkedIn about that moment, tagged her in it and said, I just respect the ask, because my life has been riddled with moments, as I saw in yours, where I just sent the email. I had nothing to lose. Well, I was fucking stealing pizzas on my own in Manchester. What did I have to lose at that point by just sending loads of emails? I remember I think it was Panasonic or Samsung, gave me free cameras. I sent an email. They were like, here's all the free cameras to start your business. When I was 14, I sent these emails to this vending machine company. They fit our secondary school with free vending machines that we made profit from. So I'd learned the power of just like asking. Nothing to lose. Maybe my ego might take an L, but who gives a fuck? I've got nothing to lose.
And what's the worst that could happen? But I think also when the worst has happened.
Yeah, you're not scared of it.
It's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened.
Getting a no to me is just a yes that hasn't happened yet. I'm always like, oh, you're saying no, but...
You mean maybe.
You mean maybe, right? Right.
You mean ask again. Quick one. As some of you know, Intel are sponsoring this podcast. And
all right, that's enough for me, though. But she's a funny person, bro. Men dealing with menopause, women forgiving your mother. That's deep to itself. Last guest question. The process of grief. Your sister, Caroline. No, man, that was interesting still. I'm not gonna lie. That was interesting, man. And it touched on a lot of real topics, man. Can't even lie. And I started that video incredibly judgy. I'll be honest. I'm judging that bitch. Like, you fucking niffer. Just doing niff for your mother, man. What are you talking about? And I just understand her, bro. I can't even lie. I've left with somewhat of a respect for her. Can't lie. I've left with somewhat of a respect for her and what she's gone through and what she's endured. It's kind of crazy. What do you think? Hey, chat, what you lot thinking of that? I'm done with it now, though. I'm not going to watch no more. But I'm not going to lie. That was kind of brazy still, I'll be honest. She was moving kind of crazy with it. She was moving kind of crazy with it still. She's kind of likable, low-key. Low-key, she's likable. Should we pre this Mr. Beast shit? I ain't watched no Mr. Beast in a very, very long time. I keep seeing that Kai Cenat was arrested. Arrested for what, man? I swear Kai Cenat's like a good kid, though. Like, not boying him, but he's like an actual good kid, like. Was therefore on some boat, same boat as you. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, man has to just respect people's honesty, firstly. You know, like, that's what I always respect. When people are just telling their story, knowing that they're going to be judged, but, like, they're just saying it how it is, really. Like, they're really just saying how it is. Like, man just has to develop a actual respect for them, you know, because, one, they're being, like, unapologetic with their truth and shit, and they're really just putting themselves out there to be judged because they don't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck. I really respect it because sometimes I give too much fucks. It's like myself, it's like I'm compartmentalized. It's like I'm either like, I don't give a fuck and I'm just moving weird with it, or I'm just in a box and I'm being polite. It's weird. It's like I got two boxes. Like, so I respect that still. Like, I'm happy she's doing better. I hope she don't relapse. Real shit. But I don't know. She might have been like clean for a very long time now. That might be her great past because she looked kind of elderly. On her way to elderly anyway. No, it really does, bro. It really does take its balls to do that shit on podcast, you know, because you're being very vulnerable. That's what we're saying. She's being public with her demons. And I think there's a lot of healing in being public with your demons as well. I'll be honest, bro. So, respect to her, whatever her name was, Davina. Respect to her. Hope she heals. That was really interesting story. Like. But anyway, what we saying? We're gonna pre this Kai Cenat shit, Kai Cenat, or this Mr. Beast thing. Kai Cenat gets arrested in AMP. Oh shit, you can't even see. Yeah. So should we pre this Kai Cenat gets arrested, or 7 days stranded at sea? People still do pranks, bro. What the hell? Alright. I'm a bit tired. What time is it, bro? Ooh, 10:30. Either one, bro. I pick. Alright, I'll pick. Let's just see what I'm going with.
Y'all about to see NYPD, bro. Security go. Police over there. Welcome to New York, bro.
As you can see, there's a large crowd here. We're hearing estimates of thousands and thousands of people who showed up, and clearly NYPD is vastly outnumbered in the situation.
Oh shit! So maybe I actually got back. I thought it was like.
They don't lock my boy up. 318.
Yeah, I'm saying. Where's security? I only got 2 minutes. Only got 2.
That man made carnival.
Welcome back to Industries TV, and today we're going to be talking about Kai Cenat from AMP. So before we get into this video, make sure you smash that like button. To be honest,
I would be good getting ready for bed now. I didn't even know about this, you know. Oh, he got bagged for his meetup, but I only see this be posted like yesterday or something. But really now I'll go to bed. I don't really go to bed late no more because it's not healthy. I really want to be healthy. I want to be healthy. I am healthy, but that's why I tried to go to bed early.
Do not subscribe to this channel. Make sure you subscribe with post notifications.
All right.
On. So yesterday, Kai Cenat thought it would be a had no permit, it wasn't structured right, and in the end, Castanet will be arrested, right along with AMP agent Duke Dennis, Phantom, and Deshae Frost. But let's get to these clips, and then we're gonna come back with our commentary. Let's go.
As you can see, there's a large crowd here. We're hearing estimates of thousands and thousands of people who showed up, and clearly NYPD is vastly outnumbered in the situation.
They don't like my boy up.
He's looking stressed, bro. Yeah, 100%. Love for tuning in though, 100%.
Nah, they got these up on the bus. They got a man locked up on the bus.
I didn't even know about this shit, man. But why is he getting bagged though? I don't understand. Because everyone turned up there. I swear I see like Blair, like a lot of black cops. Carnival though, them man set up carnival. Duke Dennis gets bagged as well. Them will be out the next day. What are they talking about, bro? They'll be out. They're probably already out.
Y'all about to see NYPD, bro.
Security guard.
Look, police over there. Welcome to New York, bro. I'm telling you, it's a lot of y'all out there right now. Everybody who's out there, make sure y'all safe. Appreciate everybody who popped out for y'all, bro. We gonna make sure it's safe. Bro, we're not gonna do nothing until it's safe. Yeah, we gotta make sure it's safe. Everybody's good. It's points. Look at them. They standing like a f***ing unity, bro.
God, we gotta get right here. But they think this is a civil, right?
Why though?
I bet. So we out.
Around, we saw smoke. I'm not sure if that was a fire or some kind of smoke bomb. Again, this was all sparked by a Twitch streamer, a social media influencer. He has 20 million followers. He asked them all to come meet him here at Union Square for what was a PlayStation 5 giveaway at 4 o'clock. Apparently, we're also hearing that people showed up only to find out there were no freebies. And as you heard, he is here. At one moment, he was live streaming in a van nearby, but he did step out. As you heard, he's out here greeting his fans. We even observed Chief of Department Madry out here having objects thrown at him. Cops are obviously outnumbered out here.
Stefan, I don't want to interrupt you for one quick second right now because you're looking at live pictures of a car that was literally covered with people, and we do believe that that was the vehicle that had Kai Cenat in it, which
That's it.
That's the vehicle right there that they believe Kai Cenat is in right now. As Stefan was saying, he was there. He was in the crowd for a little bit of time, but clearly this was an out-of-control crowd, and no freebies given away, no giveaway whatsoever getting in the car, but clearly you're looking at a
Man said out-of-control crowd. They love that word control, bro.
very dangerous situation with this car.
For the masses. They need the masses in line.
Now driving pretty fast with those people clinging on to the side and top of it.
It's mind-boggling.
It's mind-boggling why they're not stopping to let these people off the car. And and then there just someone fell off. Okay, joining us now is Bob Boyce, former NYPD, to talk more about this situation. Bob, can you hear us? It's Liz Cho and Sandra. Proceed.
All right. No, I don't like hearing the music. I don't like that. Where's the man? Let me quickly. Let's quickly type it in. He's probably out by now. Oh, 9 hours ago. Oh, so they might be in the cells now. What the fuck? Oh, so he's not even out to say the point of the story. This is fresh. It's just kids meeting their favorite streamer. No cap, bro. They're just control freaks, fam. For real, for real. Oh, this just happened, bro. Like, this is just happened, fam. No, it's not that deep still, but like to them, you know, that's what's weak about the, like, you know what they said with power. You know what they said with power? They said he's got 20 million followers. Back in the day of Jesus' day and that, like, that means he's got 20 million niggas ready to do whatever he says. That's what followers really means, by the way. You know, my follower, my disciples. So, really, their man could just say, crash the Jakes. That's what they hate. If Kai did want to say, we'll go into White House, we're taking over this bitch now, it can be done now. Because they are followers, which is deep, really. And even though Kai Cenat don't probably know that shit to that level, they think we just don't want you lot getting ideas, you know? Planet of the Apes shit. If you watch the Planet of the Apes, you know how Caesar started gathering the apes, like, fuck this, man. We're gonna break out all the other apes. Once we break out all the other apes, we're going across that bridge into the redwoods and we're breeding up the place, and now you know what I'm saying? That's why if you walk, like, that's why there is no freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, real shit. There is no such thing as freedom, bro, because the moment they think you got an idea, like, they get frightened. Yeah, there's just, obviously, to be a real leader anyway is to have a cult. And when I say cult, I mean, like, not like a cult like, you know, that the witchcraft cult. I mean, you watch the Planet of the Apes, yeah? Them uprising. When I say cult, I mean like a purpose, a cause. So when they say Kai's got 20 million followers, if he added a cause to those 20 million followers, he really has 20 million followers, which means he's really a dangerous man. That's what it means. Mahatma Gandhi had followers. How much followers did Mahatma Gandhi have? Basically, you can weaponize each person. And when I say weaponize, not necessarily put a weapon in the hand, but you can weaponize people with the idea of freedom. You know what I'm saying? So when they see all that much people, obviously Kai Cenat's brain is just so far away from some radical epic shit. It's just a PS5 giveaway, but they don't know what actually it is. Do you get it? So it's just like, there's thousands of people out here and like a streamer's told them to pull up. They don't know what the next thing, like, they don't know what your plan is. So they're scared. So really, if Kai was on some, I don't know, pull up and we're crashing everything because of this or that or that or this, or we want more freedom, that's really cult following. And then everyone's going to listen. That's being a leader. Some real gang shit. Some real gang shit. No, really it is. Yeah, but yeah, this is fresh. This is fresh as fuck. He's not even out. He's actually locked up. But incites a riot. But he didn't incite a riot though. Come on. Let's see what this is doing next.
Cenat was supposed to do a giveaway at Union Square today.
See, they're just doing giveaways.
They were going to do a meet and greet and a
cause,
giveaway at Union Square.
no purpose.
Guess what? It, of course, predictably went south because, you know, they're massively successful, massively popular content creators, and it turned into a f***ing riot.
Is it? What's he saying? What was Tate saying?
Cenat was supposed to do a giveaway at Union Square today, and they were...
You wouldn't be crazy to think that you might die here.
Yeah, you could die. You could easily die there. That
no one is, not gonna kill him though. Wow, that is cringe. That is cringe that you think that. Imagine being in this car right now. Well, if it was me, I would be thinking right now, they're not gonna shoot me. I'm chilling. Nobody will kill me,
but what was he saying in the message? Did you watch it already? Or should I check it right now quick?
That if you were in this position in this car alone, and this was people around you, that things were gonna be okay and good, and you're chilling out. Just get out of the car, lol. I give up, man. You guys just, you know what?
He's panicking.
I'm over it. And then they're trying to equate 1-to-1. It's like, yeah, people are doing that. Well, if they're doing it then, it's because he backs up and he fosters that. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think he really fosters that. And I've
panicked and worried, bro. I'm not really rocking with his energy. Yeah, I think that's it, man. Let me just quickly type in the Andrew Tate thing. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Controversial influencer Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan were released from house arrest in Romania yesterday. The Tate brothers are still unable to leave the country pending their trial on rape and human trafficking charges. The story is on the front of the Independent newspaper today.
Wait,
now, joining me now to discuss this further is political commentator Bushra Sheikh. Bushra, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Now,
Here, I didn't see it. That looks like some recycled footage. That was 9 hours ago, though. Not that vid. What vid is it? What's it called?
So if you didn't already know, Andrew Tate has just went ahead and been released off house arrest, and he went ahead and made a video speaking out about his whole arrest. If you do want to join the real world, we have a link down below in the description.
I spent 3 months in a
here we go.
cell, in a dungeon, with cockroaches sharing my blanket with me. 3 months. Then I finally got released. 7 months, I've been locked in my house, and today a judge decided to let me go. I want everybody at home to understand exactly why that is. Up until now, all of the imprisonment and the deprivation of my liberty had nothing to do with evidence. It wasn't about evidence in a case file. It was the Romanian judicial system trying to decide if 1, I am a public danger, or 2, I am a flight risk. And to be fair to them, I am non-emotional, I am a professional, even when I am suffering. And I understand as an international man of huge financial resource, it's easy to deem me a flight risk. So my liberty was deprived. Only recently I was charged. This indictment appeared. I want everybody at home to also understand that 3 different federal agencies from 3 different countries have investigated my life for the last 15 months. Every photo I've ever taken, every video I've ever made, every conversation I've ever had, every phone call, 2,000 people who know me were contacted. Every single ex-girlfriend, my vet, my pool guy, my old house cleaner in an apartment I used to have 11 years ago. You name them. If they had anything to do with me, no matter how tedious the link, they were contacted and they were interviewed. Hotlines were set up. Billboards were made. Has Andrew Tate ever hurt you? Do you have any information on Andrew Tate? The media was offering £50,000 for anybody who would give a negative story to me. Find another man who has hundreds of ex-girlfriends and not a single one of them rolled on me. Not a single one of them for money would say I'm a bad person. In fact, they would all say the opposite and defend me and stick up for me. You want to talk about a man of moral fiber? Find another man who can go through that. There's not another man on the street you can find whose ex-girlfriends who wouldn't turn on him. The media, all over the news. Andrew Tate's the worst man that's ever been. Andrew Tate's a human trafficker. Andrew Tate's a crime boss. He's a crime lord. Andrew Tate has all this money from illicit activities. Every penny I've ever made, all of my bank accounts seized. 15 million euros of assets were taken from me. They've been through every single bank transfer that I've ever sent. All of it, head to toe, to put this indictment together. So when this indictment is finally created, it should be an opera, right? It should be Shakespeare. It should show money transfers, victims, old victims from long ago, videos, pictures, medical records. This indictment should be absolutely bulletproof. The indictment was put together. I was held for 6 months without charge. That's the longest possible time I can be held without charge. The day before they finally submitted this indictment, they took as much time as they could. They took it down to the wire, every minute they could, to get this indictment together. And now the indictment's been put in front of a judge. And what has the judge done? The judge has picked up this indictment, looked at it, and said, this is garbage, let him go. Their bulletproof indictment. After all I just described, they finally put together a document that the judge has instantly said, let him go, this man should not be held.
He had 15 mil taken from him. 15. That's a brazy amount, you know, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, that's not like a little losing a HP or something.
Anybody who believed this garbage, anybody who was insulting me while I sat inside of a jail cell, saying that maybe I am a human trafficker because of some stupid video from 10 years ago, any of these people who once insulted me or refused to defend me because they were scared, and that is the same thing. Something I haven't realized, a whole bunch of people who are my friends now and on my team now and are now begging me to bring views to their shit podcasts didn't have very much to say while I was sitting in a fucking jail cell. Not very much at all. Don't think I don't know. Me and my team know exactly who was on my team and who wasn't. And I also know what I have done and what I have not done. And God knows the same.
Man said 15 mil was just his cars. Yeah, I heard that he's an up man still, like definitely up still.
It doesn't matter if I get fucked at the end of this. It doesn't matter if I get completely destroyed. It doesn't matter if they put me in jail for life. I know what I have done and I know what I have not done. And I find absolute solace in that. Now I am free. Yes, I will remain free until the trial date when this garbage is finally thrown out and my name is absolutely and utterly clear. Anybody who believes any of this garbage is going to regret it, because I tell you something, Tristan said something to me in that jail cell was completely true. He said, 13 years in the Chateau d'If, and then the world is ours. If you have not read The Count of Monte Cristo, I strongly recommend that you do. In my final act in the Chateau d'If, clear. Anybody who believes any of this garbage is going to regret it, because I tell you something, Tristan said something to me in that jail cell was completely true. He said, 13 years in the Chateau d'If, and then the world is ours. If you have not read The Count of Monte Cristo, I
The Count of Monte Cristo.
strongly recommend that you do. In my final act of defiance against the Matrix, I've decided for my first day of freedom, I will visit the mosque and I will pray to God because Allah is the best of planners, and then I will return to my house and stay home. That's right. You locked me up for 10 months. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? I'm a bit tired. I'm going to stay in my house. That's what I'm going to do. I only want to talk to God, and I want to be by myself. I don't want to talk to any of these snakes, any of these people on the internet trying to get views out of me, any of these people who pretend they support me and give a shit. When I really, when it gets down to the wire, it's me in a jail cell, me and my brother by ourselves, and all these other people don't seem to fucking give a fuck until there's views involved. Lies get tired. Lies get exhausted. It takes untold energy to continue to prop up a lie. It goes against the laws of physics. There's only so many times you can tell the world I'm a human trafficker with no evidence. Where's the girls? Where's the videos? Where's the victims? Where's the pictures? There's nothing. How many times can you continue to repeat the same garbage with no evidence? Nobody believes it. The moral arc of the universe bends towards truth. And I tell you something, when I am released
send that.
I'm going to use my massive platform and enormous financial capability to launch a charity to prevent this happening from any man ever again. This is enough, and it's going to have to stop, and I'm going to stop it.
I felt him still. But yeah, man. That's crazy still. That is crazy. You know, that's why it's just a bit brazy when you want to speak truth on the internet, because just like there's little Agent Smiths out here that wants to lock your thing away. If you start spreading some truth, bro, there's these Agent Smiths that want to pull up and just silence a man, whether that be physical or through bribery or whatever, bro. That's why it's a bit techie still. It's a bit techie. But anyway, that's coming to this is the end of the stream still. This is like nearly a 2-hour stream. It's the end of the stream. Love to everybody that tuned in. Hope we learned some shit together, really. I hope we learned some shit together. You know. And yeah, that's the end of the stream, man. Super love, guys. Love for tuning in, really.